If ever you win, no one's going to know. A lot of people do that. The biggest problem that you face is that a lot of lottery winners, part of the terms and conditions are that you take part in publicity. And that's where the problems start, because you can't remain anonymous when you win the lottery. They want you to stand there and hold large checks saying $1 million on it. Wait, why is... I'm trying to work out why the diesel thing doesn't have a green light on it. The UK lottery, you can remain anonymous. There are some conditions about it, though. Like if you choose not to take part in publicity, then you lose a lot of the free services or something like that. I don't know. Basically, I think if you win the lottery, they send around a load of people who try to convince you how to invest your money, blah, blah, blah. And you lose all that if you don't take part in publicity. There is a downside to it. 8,800. Oh, come on. Jesus is so awkward. There we go. Would you buy your own aircraft if you won the lottery? If I won the lottery, I would be so shocked, because I don't even buy lottery tickets, so it's not really something I've thought about. The horn. There you go. Right, let's pay the bill on this one. Have you found the 007? It's a steam locomotive, so... And the 001 was a DE2, so I don't really know what to go for with the DE6. $10,000? Right, let's go and pay the environment fees and then figure out what we're doing next. That's quite a big haul we just did then. Right, fees. 1,000 in fees. Alright, let's burn some of this money away. We've got too much money, so we'll get Hazmat 2. And we'll get Hazmat 3. And then we've only got 300 grand left. Loco numbers are random, so a number can be any loco. When does it generate that, though? Because if I was to find a locomotive now, 007 with a D6, and then I came back to the game tomorrow, would it just renumber it? Because that would be really annoying. Let's take a quick backup of my save game. Right, so we've got 300 grand and we don't owe anything. That's good. Let's twist the question a little, Squirrel, but from a pilot's perspective, if you were a fully qualified, well set up pilot and could afford a private jet, would you go that way or stay with a commercial airline to avoid all the drama of running things yourself? I think if you want to run a private jet, I think if I had the money, I wouldn't buy a private jet just for fun. Like, it would have to have a reason. It would have to pay for itself. You would have to have a good reason to fly around like that with a private jet, because it costs a lot of money, burns a lot of fuel. Well, Citation Max doesn't own the private jet. It's his dad that owns it, and as far as I understand it, his dad has the private jet. So basically, go to business meetings that would cost him more money to jump on planes all the time. When you're at the level of somebody where, every 15 minutes costs a lot of money of your time, when you're measuring yourself in that way, if you can save yourself 2 hours going through check-in by having a private jet, it's worth it, because 2 hours of your day is worth it. You have to be at that level.
Welcome back.
You could charter it. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. Marius RST, welcome back. Styrol, welcome back. King Eagle, thank you for gifting subs to Styrol, Captain Crutch, and Marius. Appreciate that. Thank you. It's kind of hard. I guess if you're not super rich, it's kind of hard to imagine the problems that you get when you are super rich. That makes sense. And we probably sit here thinking, oh yeah, they've got that much money. What kind of problems do they have? But you get different problems. Oh, Matty. Yeah, planes cost money. They do. They cost a lot of money. Logistics hall. Let's go and have a look at what the military's doing. Out of curiosity. I would love to hold some hazardous military stuff. Oh, wow. Wow. Is that it? Deliver some ammunition. Yeah, I'll put that in your fan. Scumbag. I guess the military's got some budget cuts going on. Your problems never go away. You trade them from one set for another. Absolutely. Saw a fascinating video about how Walmart in the US use their business jets. Private jets enable flight routes that may not exist commercially. Exactly that. Like, if you've got to fly around the States for business meetings, you may not be able to do it easily with a business jet, but with a private jet, you can just go where you want and land a lot nearer to where your meeting is and that kind of thing. How many logistic halls? Like, seriously, look at this. An entire table full of logistic halls. Unload and store a train with methane. Meh. You'd love a filing system, I agree. I think that one might have changed because that doesn't belong here anymore. City Southwest. I think that's the only City Southwest job. So we've got Harbour and Town to Steel Mill. 27 grand delivering argon. Hazmat 2, 11 grand there. Says 38 grand. 38k plus 10k for dropping that stuff off and moving it around. Mr. Crimebuster, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome. Some logistic holes the ones generated after the shunting. Yeah. Then we've got this one to the goods factory. Taking some sodium hydroxide for 30 grand. That's a pretty well-paying job for what it is. And then a bunch of electronics. These are probably going into the same yard, I'd guess. And then this one, which is gasoline and diesel, which may go into the same yard as that, maybe. But possibly in a different siding or something. So I think, you know, you'd probably want to put those two in one section and those two in another. Those two added up will give you 25. If you got really lucky and they went to the same place, which is unlikely, but you could potentially double up that on a bonus. Can you please tell me when does the job's clock start for time bonuses? Literally as soon as you hand it in here. When you had the job card in and you're given the actual job detail, at that point it started. Sodium hydroxide is not salt water. No. I think it's time for a bigger desk. No, what they need is like in here, like a pin board or something. A bit like this, but you can just pin stuff to it. And sort it in different ways. Sort by destination and that kind of thing. Right, so if we figure out where these are in the yard and get ready for these, I think we can do this lot. Added up, that will be 470 tons. Let's say 500 plus another 600. I reckon we can probably get away with 1d6 for the whole thing.
Aye.
King Eaglefist, we're not bored today, just feeling generous, just enjoying the stream in alert mode. Thank you, King Eaglefist. Thank you for the gifting. I think what we can do is take one diesel for this lot. So I would propose to take those last. The tanker cars, so they're probably coming from the sea yard anyway. We need to find these two first. Which is FH 84 and 95. Let's have a look. It's probably not in this yard. It might be in E. HBFH84, you see the number? Bottom right there. HB84. HBFH84, that's that one. And that consists of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cars. So that's basically that entire section there. And then the other one is 95, which is probably nearby. You have the PC on the floor, yeah? 85. Can't seem to find this one. It must be in a different yard. Unless it's... it's probably this one. There it is. Alright, so we know those two are in the E section. So we'll just bring a train around here. Sorry, a loco around here. And we want to reverse it. So we'll need to spin this thing around. How much can a D6 handle? Comfortably about 1,000 tons, but it can do more if you're going downhill.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
Evie, I get double top 40 months, sir.
Welcome back, Natter.
Would you like the game as much without the remote? If they'd have never added it into the game, then I think you can still do all of the jobs. They would be a lot harder, and therefore the job would need to allow you more time. Like, I'm doing stuff with the remote, and sometimes it's like 21 seconds over. So, yeah, that's a pretty speedy bonus. I still think that the bonuses should be scaled. I think there should be like a gold, silver, bronze type thing. Like just having a job and then a 50% bonus if you're on time. I don't like that. I kind of think there should just be... If you do it in this time range, you get this much money. If you do it in this time range, you get this much. And if you do it in this, you get this much. But the actual money that you get for doing it quicker should scale depending on how time sensitive the goods are. So if I'm just hauling a load of coal around, I don't really think that's time sensitive. So my bonus for getting there quicker is not great. If I've got a few cars full of, you know, like mail, you know, parcels and that kind of thing, that's time sensitive. So therefore my bonus should be higher. But equally, if I'm really late, I should start taking a penalty. So I think it should kind of work that way. But, you know, that's all in the future. It's quite simplistic at the moment, but that's fine. Yeah, coal can be time sensitive, obviously, if like you need it urgently, but usually it's not. It was just an example. Anything can be time sensitive. Right, so we'll hook up that one. And then connect it to this other one. And we've got that consist. And then we'll go and find the fluid tankers and get them. And then we'll hand all the jobs in and kick it off. See you later, used cows. You're thinking maybe there's a little too much monetary lenience in the game currently. If you think that, Benjamin, you can easily just put the game into hardcore mode and get a lot less money. That's not what I'm saying. I wasn't really talking about the rate that you paid for jobs. I'm talking about the bonuses in particular. I'm saying that a 50% bonus for being on time is too simplistic. I think it's that one with the red car, isn't it, that we want? Pretty certain it's that one. It is going to be a long train, and it's going to be a bit of a struggle getting it out the harbour for one loco. But if we can get it out the harbour, we'll be good. We'll save a lot of money on running a second diesel. You could run a second diesel and do it easily. It costs you like, what, 10 grand probably? I think it'll be a bit of a struggle with one, so that's going to be fun. One of my key bindings, I use a numeric keypad. Oh yeah. Yeah, the amount of my copay insurance now is quite high, so if I completely screw up, it's going to cost a lot of money. So those two are now, it's like 250 meters and weigh 626 tons. Just that lot there now. Now we're going to be coming to here and reversing into this sea yard because I think this is where it is. Let's quickly nip down to the sea yard. They're not here. They must be in D then. It must be in D. So we're looking for FH27 and FH15. In that case, I have no idea where they are. Not down there. Maybe they're in G. Same yard as the others. Let's have a look. Who just sub-bombed? Knox Harrington just dropped 10 subs, guys. Thank you very much, Knox. Thank you for the support, mate. Appreciate that. And if you got a sub, please thank Knox Harrington for that. That's very generous of you. And Mr. Ferret Bomb. Mr. Ferret Bomb, who's been playing Scrap Mechanic a lot, I've noticed. Thank you, sir, for the raid and the host. Welcome, guys. Welcome those from Ferret stream. Hang on, I need to do a ferret on this. 1 second. Everybody, throw those nuts. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. Nutter.
Thank you, sir. It's not quite as snappy as he does it, but you know. We're getting there.
Welcome to the
FH27 is indeed here. And the other one was FH15. So 27 is there, next to the orange tanker. And 15 is here. Nice. Cool. Found it. And the question is, which do we want the most on the back? That's the 30 grand job, so I think the black ones need to go on the back. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back. Nutter.
So we shall go this way. And take this line first, which is 27. Which is that one. Six cars in total.
Welcome to the Nut House.
One impressive model railroad, yeah. We're about to do a very long haul. We're just putting 4 different jobs together. 4 consists, and then we're taking it from the harbour down here. All the way up through the steel mill up to the goods factory, which is here. You can't go that way to the goods factory, you have to go this way. Anthony B, welcome back. Mr. Ferribon, thank you for 64 months as well. Dude, that's a long time. That's a long time. How did that happen? That's crazy. Feels like yesterday. It doesn't feel like 64 months, I know that much. How does that even work? Not all of them, Ducky, no. Oh, this is taking a lot longer to slow down. I need the train brake now.
Welcome back, Nutter.
This single D6 is going to have a lot of fun pulling out the harbour. 123 Gator, thank you for gifting a sub to FIL. Welcome.
Welcome back, Nutter.
What's the -1? So, when you're coupling, the minuses are how many cars back from you want to uncouple and couple from. So, if it's a minus or negative, it means behind the train. If it's a positive, it means in front of the train. So if I do it on -1, it'll disconnect it there, because it considers the loco to be car number 1. I'm going to do it with 1 loco, Danny, I think. Because it comes to just over 1,000 tons, I think. And I reckon we can do it. We may not. I may completely screw this up, but it'll be fun trying to do it with 1 loco. Oh my god, this is getting quite long. So down here is the signal strength of the remote to the locomotive, and you'll see the bars going down as the loco gets further and further away. Yeah, it's going to be, if we can get out the harbour, that's the main thing. The harbour's quite a steep run. You don't have... Ferret, do you still have that fluffy notification sound? Because, like, every time that gets set off, that just terrifies you. Locomotives can't be slaved in the default game, but if you use a mod that I use, it can. One thing you would like them to add somewhere on the map is a gravity yard. A gravity yard. He still does. Glutton for punishment.
Welcome back, Nutter.
Watson 26, welcome back. The black cars on the end. The black cars with the dangerous stuff. Corrosive material. Sodium hydroxide. She's moved into more of a managerial role, leaving her duties to Wayne June, but cannot restrain for tier 3 subs and gift bombs. She's very loud. Yeah. I'm not surprised you've kind of put the brakes on it a little bit. Watson, thank you for 2. Been watching for so long.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much, Watson. No, you scumbag. Oh, I've seen those Echolos at the, is it in the Netherlands that has like a massive gravity yard? I think it might be. Okay, we are good to go here. The only thing left to do is to actually start the clock running. So let's see. We're looking at 32 minutes for that one. 32 minutes for that one. So we'll get a little stopwatch out. Wait, where's my stopwatch gone? Don't even have a hotkey for it. 8, 9. How do I access stuff to the right of my hotbar? Hang on. I've got too many things. There we go.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
So we're looking at... okay, this is weird. I'm mouse wheeling, but it's not working anymore. Now it's working. So the timer's going to be on 32 minutes when we start. Aquila Samurai, thank you very much for 54 months. Wish Twitch sent out notifications when the Prime subs need renewing. I thought they'd fix that. I thought they did notify you now. Maybe they don't email you, but I don't know actually. I thought they did. Right, scrub that one. Scrub that one. Scrub that one. Scrub that one. Let's punch it. And let's hope we can get out the harbour. D6I. D6I. Oh yeah. We're going to double stack that one. Oh, that's D6I as well. What, mate? I always forget to start that timer. Hang on, that's at D6I, that's at D5I, D6I, and D6I. Interesting, so 3 of them drop at D6I. Blimey. So we need to do the usual thing, go through, down the middle, and then reverse back into D. No, I don't know if I have them in the right order, GTB. I do not know. If they're not in the right order, they won't all fit in D6I. I know we put the tankers at the end. I'm sure we put the tankers at the end. Not the boxcars. So I think what we've got is that one right at the back, then that one next to it, and then I'm not sure if it's that one or that one. It depends if there's a yellow silver or a red. It's a yellow silver. No, that's a yellow. If it's a yellow, it's probably that one, which goes D6I, which is at the front. So that one's in the wrong place. So yeah, we can't get them all. We can get 2 bonuses, but not 3, I think. This is the worst bit now, whether we get up here or not. No, to be fair, the last time I did this, I got lucky with the consist. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a pain, but it doesn't matter. We'll get bonuses on 2, definitely. Harry Slayer, thank you for 62 months. Good morning. I will, sir. Thank you. Just going to start filling the weight now. Jobs spawn, Jimbaliath. Every time you leave an area and come back, it'll respawn jobs. If you bring loaded cars into a yard, it will generate jobs to empty those cars and do logistic runs and things like that. Well, there's no need to drop sand unless you get the wheel stop light coming on. Okay, we're looking at a right turn out of the, we're here where the blue icon is, and we're going to go right out of here, and then left, through the steel mill, into the goods factory. So the signal's turning right, we've got a speed limit of 40, we're only doing 30, so we're good. Yeah, that was one of the steeper climbs, and there's a long steep climb coming up here. But it looks like it's okay. We're not full throttle and we're actually accelerating. How come you can't go through the right side of the map? Because if you go this way and northbound, what happens is when you fork right here, you cross over the goods factory. You see that? That's actually a tunnel. So you go over the top of it, and then you've basically got to go that way and then down this steep descent, round through there, and it's way tougher. You can do it, but it's harder. The locos are D6. It's not. None of the actual locos in this game are like real world locos, if you like. You can't see engine temperature on the RC. You've got to go inside and look at the engine temp here. But to be fair, the D6 pretty much never overheats. D2 is a real pain for that. You just started streaming, Dave. Lol. Learning by failing. Pretty much. You certainly, like, I've been up and down this section of track a few times now, and you definitely learn where the key gotchas are, where the speed, like, changes are. And, you know, the first time you come down it, yeah, you're definitely going to make mistakes. So you're better off just coming down quite slowly and learning it. Because if you derail, it's going to cost you more money. Especially with tanks like that on the back, you're going to cause a big, big problem. Is it eating a bunch of RAM? Nah. Like 3 gigs, something like that. Right, there's a 50 marker there, so I'm just going to back off. And let the speed, because we're climbing up a hill, we're going to like decelerate a little bit. And that tunnel there comes out and immediately forks. I want to be doing less than 40 through there. We want to make sure that it goes to the left. Go on to our tracking here. As we're going that way. Beastly Greg, thank you for 71 months, sir. Right, there's your 40 limit. How often do derailments actually happen? You can make them happen very, very easily. They happen the most commonly with empty cars. So if you have an empty log car, because it's quite lightweight, if you take it over a section of track, like a junction in particular, you will unsettle it and it'll derail it. It doesn't happen so much with the heavier items, but the worst ones to derail are the heavy tanker. If you derail a heavy tanker, it will obviously cause a huge amount of friction, so you'll feel it. And then at some point it will kick sparks off and damage the tanker, and it will then set fire. And then it explodes, and then it causes everything else to explode. And it's very spectacular. They've actually done it quite well. So I do like to go through this bit at 30 because I've had a derail here. It says 80 here, but that's a lie. Yeah, I don't know why the battery's not charging. I think it's because I'm stood in shade or something. The remote is an in-game item that you can buy from the shop at the machine factory here. See, if I get on the roof, the battery starts charging. If I stand down there, the battery doesn't charge. I think when I'm there, it considers me to be in the cab, even though I'm not. It's a bit weird. Just recharging the shade, yeah. The battery seems to, like, deplete very quickly. It's a bit weird. Yeah, people don't like it when I stand here. They prefer me to be here. I mean, you can get rid of the remote, you can go inside, press the X key, sit down and do it that way. Drive it like a proper train driver, looking at speed limits here and that kind of thing. Operating the controls in VR. So far, so good. When you start this game and you start with a DE2 and no remote, life is quite tricky. Because the DE2, which is a 2-axle diesel electric, It's about half the size of this. When you haul out of the harbour, it overheats a lot and you need a lot of sand. And you have to really manage the engine temperature. No, it pretty much never gets too hot home serve. Like, we've just worked our way out the harbour and it's never gone above like 50 Celsius. No, sorry, I mixed two things there. You've got to manage the engine temperature by, like when you're in the DE2, the needle will go up and it'll hit the yellow, and then you need to be careful. If it hits the red, it will shut the engine off. So you've got to keep throttling down and managing your momentum. But equally, when you put the power back on, you often get wheel slip, so you need to deploy the sand. But sand costs almost as much as diesel in this game. So it will cost you in the pocket if you use too much sand. Right, we're looking at a right-hand turn, but there's no signal to set, and then same here, and then straight through the steel mill. This is a downhill run. Straight through the steel mill, hanger left, all the way down here, chicane, climb up to the goods factory. And of course, the more you throttle, the more diesel you burn, so the more fuel you're going to have to pay for. Right, looking at a 50 limit through here. Highway trucks and snow runner. Yeah, I don't see the point either. I have no idea. Houston. And then the other thing to bear in mind is, like, when you pass the 50 speed limit, like the back of your train, when it's this long, it's going to take a while for that to go through the speed limit, so you got to be careful about going too quickly. But this whole section here is 50. And then we're going to hit a descent, so our speed will start going up shortly. Battery's not charging again, look. If we stand there in the shade, the battery doesn't charge. It seems like it needs direct sunlight. So I'm using a bit of indie brake to keep that under control, because the back of our train's still going through that 50. Oh yes, it can run out of battery. It'll just turn off. Okay. That should be alright now. Just stand on this side to keep it charging. There's a 50 limit, but that's only if you're going left or right. It says 50 there, but it's actually a bit of a lie because there's no 50 here. We just need to make sure the points are set going straight through. Again, 30, but that's only in the yard. Oh, the frames as it loads this thing. There we go. Right, we better start braking. I think it's a 60 or a 70 around this turn, I can't remember. It's set for a left turn. So it says 50 at the junction, but then it says 80 going left. So it kind of misleads you a little bit. Picking up a bit too much speed. Yeah, it's not right though, Sarge. It's auto-generated and the speeds aren't correct. Not compared to what you can actually do anyway. We're going to the goods factory. So the goods factory, we're going to come in, go straight through B. We're going to go around that way, like that, stop, and then we're going to reverse the back of the train into D. And D6I is the main one for those two drops. It's actually the main one for 3 though, D6I. And as we come in, 6I is going to be second on the right though. Because we're coming from this to the end of the track, so it's that one. So we're now here on this fast stretch, and then we've got a right turn. I think it's like 60 around there, and then like 50, and then 30, something like that. Gator, please don't tell my mods to shut up, dude. That's not being respectful at all, is it? .60 limit. You always punch it down here. Yeah, I do when I'm going the other way, usually, but coming this way, I tend to just let it coast. Save a lot of fuel. I think the game's about 20 pounds on Steam, $20, I can't remember. It's still early access, it's not finished. It's very early access, really. Tomato, thank you. Right, so we need to get ready for a right-hand turn coming up. I can't remember if it's a 40 or a 30. Okay, signal's going the wrong way. It says 50, but that's not correct. They are 40. It's getting lowered. 40 going right. You recharge the batteries by just standing in direct sunlight. Has a little solar panel up there. So yeah, again, we're just going to make sure the back of the train, which is still going through the junction, we're under 40. And then we're cruising into D. How long is it? I don't know. Can anybody remember how long it was? Yeah, it's quite long. It's 4 consists here, so it's pretty long. We've got 7 minutes to get the bonus. Blimey. That's not a lot. In fact, it's less than 7. Because I started the clock late. We bought the stopwatch yesterday. Oh my god. I was not paying attention. It's not a biggie, but that was a mistake. I did not look at the setting on that particular point then. So it took a little bit of a detour. Look. Not completely unnecessary detour. Okay, we're going to cruise round here. And then we're going to reverse into here, which is going to be right, and then right again. 6i is that one. Looks like it's all set correctly. To get the 3 bonuses, so you don't have them decoupled, could you back up to the yard and to... I don't think there's going to be enough space at the back of the train to reverse it like that. I don't know. It just depends on the length of it all. We're going to get 2 bonuses if we do it right. So this one at the front here, I think, is the other bonus.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
John E., thank you for almost 3 years, sir. When we see the black tankers, they're the ones at the back. There's the front now. Lol. Oh my god, I hope the front of the train doesn't hit something. I didn't actually check where the points are going to take it. Oh my god. It could be ramming right into something right now. So we can basically reverse till we get to here. Hand the jobs in, and then we've only got that little runoff to try and reverse it a bit more. To get the front job in. So I don't think we'll be able to do that one. Yeah, we could go for ramming speed. Watch the explosions.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Oh, it does explode, trust me. Big Rig Paul, thank you for 17 months, sir.
Welcome back, Nutter.
Oh my god, look at the time. We're like 2 minutes to get this home. I don't think we're going to do it. I'm just going to run and hopefully we can hand this in. Hope it stops in the right place. Don't think... Yeah, that one's in progress. Okay, so we got the bonus on that one and that one. So that's 77 grand for that, for those two. I'll take that. Now the problem is, can we get... That timer just does my head in. Right, where does this one want to go? D5I. Okay, so just a little bit over.
Want some cake?
Is that one 5I? Wait, that's 6I. There's 5. Mr. Eferick, the cake is in the oven, apparently. Just have a kitchen timer like that. Exactly, it just sounds like a kitchen egg timer or something. You know, you want soft-boiled eggs, you just put that little timer on. Just like that. What about runny eggs? That's what I mean. I like soft-boiled eggs. It's the one thing that Mrs. Squirrel can't do in the kitchen that I can is make, like, perfect soft-boiled eggs. Ones that you can dip your soldier toast in. Kirby, I've earned plenty of bonuses without remote. It's completely doable. What are you having for tea dinner? I have no idea. It's a skill. Making a soft-boiled egg properly is a skill. Because it also varies. Like, if you want to do one soft-boiled egg, it's different to doing 4. Good morning, Nightbird. How you doing? 84. So that one should be part of this. There it is, 629. Yes, I'll be live later today.
Welcome back, Nutter.
10 minutes is a bit too long for soft boiled. 3.5 is what you're looking at for soft. If you boil a pan of water first and then lower the egg into it, 3.5 minutes. Kirby, thank you for gifting a sub to Bat Rabbit. You recently bought a steamer for eggs. Yeah, they work pretty well. I keep meaning to buy a rice cooker. Rice cookers take too long. Rice cookers cook rice perfectly, though. Oof. That was a bit rough. Not quite what I intended. Do you know, Ferret, they are amazing how they work. The technology inside is actually quite clever. It exploits the magnetic properties of water. It's just bizarre the way it works. And that's how it knows when there's no water left. Because it basically, it tries to pass it creates a field in the rice, which is only present when there's water. When it falls below a certain level, it flicks a switch and rings a bell and your rice is done perfect. It has just the right amount of water in it. It's crazy the way it works. Where's the shed gone? There it is. Right. It's complete. 10 grand. 15 grand. So the wallet's back up another 113 grand or something. But we have a bunch of fees, 22 grand owed on that. I don't know if there's a service yard here. I can't remember. Oh yeah, the goods factory does have a service yard, which is here. So we could bring it into here and get it topped off. Let's do that.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's very, very clever. Whoever invented that was very clever. Booch, thank you for 34 months. Ragnarsson, thank you for 40. Doesn't have fuel at the goods factory. That's true. But we can get the rest of the service done, I guess. Arguably, there's not much point. Actually, there's probably enough fuel still left. 1 second. We've got half a tank. I might go down to the oil well anyway, actually. It's more fun at the oil well. Yeah, we're just going to nip around the corner because there's a service yard here. I might just take a drive up to the iron ore mine east. This is a fun run. No, we're kind of not focused on the military yet. I've been focusing on the hazmat stuff. Although I guess if we've got the hazmat 3 license, we're more likely to get something from the oil well than we are from the iron ore. Or even the coal mine. We've not been there either for a while. Last time I went there was pre-overhaul. The train doesn't wheel slip. The D6 tends not to wheel slip because it is a real big beast. The DE2 does a lot of whiz that. Refrec, if you go to the iron ore mine east, don't forget when going to the steel mill, don't take the harbour junction. What? It took you 138 minutes to do a 32-minute job. Did you get your bonus? Yep, Alpha. Thank you, Kirby. No bonus, but a lot of life experience. So you're a winner in life. But not in your pocket. Okay, right turn into the oil well. I've not used the steam engine since overhaul now. Pre-overhaul. Cleo, welcome back. Batty, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome to the house, Batty. What am I playing at 5? I'm trying to... I don't know. I don't know what I want to play at 5 o'clock, to be honest. I'm in two minds. KSP, as if. Any hints? Lol. I don't know, I might see what's trying to work out if I want to do some racing, maybe, I don't know. Depends what. Yeah, I mean, I was going to look at the tuning pack, but I don't know. I'll see what mood I'm in. I need to make a decision soon. That cost 11 grand. Blimey. That's a lot. Let's go around here. See what the fees are like. $598 in fees. Nice. So that leaves us with 399,000 in the pocket, which is about 100 grand, almost 100 grand more than when we was in the harbour. They need what? Recycle bins? For what exactly? Any more news on Microsoft Flight Sim? It's still under embargo. He's right what Pops is doing, the oval on the IndyCar. Nah. I think Pops mentioned that the GT4 is at Sebring full track. So Sebring, if that's true, then that could be worth a go. The GT4 around full Sebring track could be fun. I haven't actually looked though. Have a quick look. Well, the ridiculousness is at Silverstone, and that's the MX-5, the Williams FW31, and the Radical SR8. The Radical at Silverstone could be quite fun. The Michelin Challenge is Sebring International and the GT4. See, all of that sounds like fun. Blue Eye Pirate, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome to the Nut House. So yeah, I might do some racing. I might jump on the rig and go around Sebring and Silverstone instead. The last of the week 13 races. So we're going to go up here. I'm going to show you this tunnel here. We're going to turn a right and we're going to go through this tunnel climb up that way. And then I'll probably go left, and then we'll either go to the iron ore mine or the coal mine. I don't know if you have a preference. KSP, Kerbal Space Program. It's been a long time since I played that game. Even Scott Manley doesn't play that game much anymore. Like, he pretty much started his channel on that. He used to use it for illustrations. No, not really. He used to play the game quite a lot. It's only later he started to get into proper, like, IRL space stuff. Thanks. Yeah, did you see the, Mad Mate, did you see the what Take-Two Interactive did with KSP? KSP2? Which is the sole reason why you're not going to see it till the end of next year now. Corporate scumbaggery. Did you ever rescue the space minions that got... Dave, I can't remember, bro. I have no idea. Well, I think one of the mods can give you a link if they've still got it. To the article about what they did. It's worth reading. It's worth knowing about what's going on. Third person view, Rich? Nah. Why would you even want that? Well, they're actively developing it, but with only half the team, right? Because the other half of the team didn't want to work for Take-Two. After they completely destroyed the company that was originally developing it. By offering to buy them out with some terms that the owners didn't want. So then they basically poached half the dev team and set up their own games company. And thus left the original company in ruin, with the two owners financially broke. I mean, if that isn't corporate scumbaggery, I don't know what is. Mr. Heapster, how are you today? Thinking again, this game, does it actually require 16 gig of RAM? No. You only have 8? No. I mean, it depends on what your Windows is doing, really. At the moment, my machine, let's have a look at my task manager. I've been running it for 3.5 hours and it's taking 3.4 gig of RAM. Got man been streaming KSP a lot. Has he really? Has he gone back to it? Is the game still being developed though, or is it like completely parked? Yep, Take-Two hired more than a third of Star Theory staff, including the studio head and creative director. Yep. There was an update a couple of months ago. It's on version 1.9. How is it on multi-core processors, Bigfoot? Because many years ago when I played it and you got into space and I had a space station on my vehicle and it just, the frame rate was horrible. It just couldn't cope with all those calculations. Like, I just wonder what it's like now. Like, I kind of want to play it again, but part of me just goes, Yeah, 64-bit doesn't really mean very much. That's just a memory thing. It's more to do with how it's distributing the CPU calculations over different cores. Large vehicles, the frame rate will also be glad it's improved. I think I went back to my space station, and when it kind of came into shot and it rendered it all in, some of the connections were broken, I remember. Like some of the tankers that were... I used to use some mods that allowed you to weld, like a connect a fuel tanker to the station, and then it would, like, you could hit a weld option, it would basically weld it to the space station. I don't think Scott Manley's playing KSP. It's set up a challenge where viewers make fighter jets. Oh, somebody said he was playing it. Well, I want to go left here. See, pre-overhaul, I mean, when I used to play it, that didn't exist. The military section never used to exist. Nah, Mr. Yorny, it's just a matter of getting my head in that game. Because, like, docking with a space station is quite tricky, and you have to remember how to do it again. Mo Alcaf, welcome back. I would never say no to a cup of tea, MG Green. What are you talking about, man? There's no vote, Trucker Joe. I'm pretty much set my mind. I'm going to do some iRacing later. Because the tracks are Silverstone and Sebring. So that's week 13 fun. It's going to be carnage. Scott Manley streams KSP on Twitch fairly often, but doesn't really post new KSP stuff on his YouTube. That's basically what it comes down to. Do you know, I never knew he had a Twitch stream. That's interesting. He streams KSP, but he's keeping his YouTube channel for, like, IRL stuff now then? Well, if I'm doing iRacing, I'm not playing ETS2, am I, Andy? Wow, look. Nice. That's the lower track. Is that the food factory? He streams as ZY SZYZYG. Oh my god, that name. Why? Why has he picked that as his Twitch name? JTB, I'll probably film that in the next couple of weeks. Name for all the planets in a line or something. Yeah, but surely twitch.tv/Scott Manley would have been just a better option. What do I think of this game? Well, I'm playing a lot of it, so I must think pretty well, right? He usually has a few points while streaming promoting local breweries. LOL. What a legend. Docking is easy if you control from the docking ports on both vessels and set the target as the other vehicle's docking ports to keep facing each other. Well, back in the days when I used to do it, it was very hard. And then somebody actually invented like docking mods that gave you camera views and stuff, but it was still very difficult. It was so easy to completely ruin it. One Slenderman, thank you, 53. You know, if these graphics were better, this would actually be a really nice view right now. Need some sheep. Right, so I want to do a left here and then keep left the iron ore. Okay, set for left, we're good. I'm only running one mod, Rhetoric, and that's the multi-unit mod. Afternoon on Pesh. Logistics must be awful, there's only one train. There's only one train? Where are you getting that information from? There are 3 different locomotives. 2 diesel electric and 1 steam. One active train. If you look down the list of things that they are doing with the game, adding AI trains is one of them. Jack Garrett, you have to get the update on the mod. So when you install the mod, you would probably have used the Unity mod manager. You just run the Unity mod manager again, and next to it will say there's an update available. Click download, and then click update, it'll patch the mod in the game and you're good to go. Well, there's the mine. In order to add dual tracking to this game, they're going to have to rework the entire map. That's going to be a lot of work. Slice of beer, I am a lot better, thank you. Yeah, I slept properly last night. We're in the D6, that one. Have a quick look at the iron ore east. Iron ore mine east coming in from the south. Not a lot here, is there? There's a load there. There's one here. A couple over there. Where's the actual... There it is. Fancy? Fancy printer copier going on. Everything goes to the steel mill from here. 37 grand, 22 grand, and 15 grand. 946 tons. 500 tons. That's 1,400. 1,700 tons. But I think most of that run is downhill. Most of that run is all downhill out of here. The only uphill section you're going to have to deal with is probably that stretch there. I do wonder if you can do that with one diesel electric. Look at this. What year is this set in? I mean, I remember computers looking like this. Like, they were cream colored because IBM decided cream was the way to go, and they were all just covered like... They always attracted dust. They always looked manky like that. They're just bleh. Yeah, and they used to be like that as well. When they changed PCs to black, it was the best change ever. Oh, CRT monitors, man. So heavy. And then you had like all the concerns about the health of having a CRT monitor and sitting in front of it and having it beaming at you all day long. So then they said that that was creating like negatively charged, which was making you get headaches and stuff. So you had people in the office complaining that they had headaches and it was being caused by the CRT monitors. So then health and safety had to buy these like screens that went in front to reduce the emissions and also improve the contrast. Oh my God. And then they just came out with LCD monitors. The dial-up times, oh yeah. Take that one, and that one. FH 86, 84, so that's one of them. Which is the one we'd want on the back? It's that one, isn't it? So we want 86 on the tail end. Chances are these are all going to go to the same place, though. Guessing that's 80... Yeah, that's the big guy. So we want that one, and then finally this one. Oh yeah, I deliberately reversed it here. You managed to snap your back when you lifted your parents' old 32-inch TV. Snap it? Do you mean pull it? Like pull a muscle in your back or something? That's easily done. Dad used to have a plasma TV and swore weighted it as much as some of the old... Oh, the plasmas weren't that... Yeah, I mean, they were quite heavy plasma. Refrick, I now have a job with containers, ammunition, tractors, tanks, cars for the harbour. I bet you the enemy won't even notice me holding these military goods. I'd love to see what happened if you crash that. That cleared the point. Oh man, look at that.
Cup of tea?
Pure scumbaggery. If I crash that, you should be asking Mr. Squirrel for toast instead of cake. You'll be fine, do it for science. No, I never owned a plasma. I decided not to. I went CRT, LCD, LED. They did. Plasmas did put a lot of heat out. Set this up. OLED is cool. Yeah, I've got OLED. I'm not sure you're ever really going to get better than OLED. Like, the brightness and picture quality is unbelievable. Quantum dot. Yeah, but I mean, if you look at an OLED screen, are you trying to tell me there's anything about that screen in terms of how black the black is and how white the white is? Are you actually saying, oh, we could definitely improve the picture quality here? I don't think you're going to see the difference anymore, is what I'm saying. It's like when they were talking about dots per inch, you know, DPI, it got to a point where the human eye can't even recognize the dots anymore. Hence why Apple coined that a retina display, because it doesn't matter how many dots they create now, you can't see it. And I'm pretty certain it's true of like brightness levels, like you just can't see the difference anymore. Wow, this is pretty heavy. I'm pretty certain I could just roll this thing back, look. Just leave it and let it roll back in. An 8K phone screen runs 6-inch, you wouldn't notice, yep. Wow, we're picking up speed, something nasty here. Improve VR. I don't think VR's catching on as much as they thought it might. It's like first they had 3D TVs and nobody wanted them. Then they've got Cinema 3D, and well, let's face it, nobody really wants that either. People talk about VR, but people don't seem to like it that much. Let's put the train brake on full. It's niche. Well, it's a funny thing, but when you go to the cinema, to watch a movie with your friends, and you want to watch a 2D or a 3D version, what do you go for? I think most people still go 2D. Why is that?
Welcome back, Nutter.
That's the big one, so we'll hand that one in last. Okay. Yes, I'm sure. It's 4 o'clock. We're stopping there. We're taking a backup. And we'll have to complete this one next time. 3D makes you nauseous. Like, it's not like, you know, it's not like you're seeing young people adopt cinema 3D and saying, oh, well, it's obviously like the older generation, they just prefer 2D. But the young people are really going for 3D. Like, they're not. They just all go and watch 2D movies. Part of it is possibly the price. A 3D ticket is insane compared to a 2D, but I think a lot of it's just down to we don't want to wear glasses, we don't want to wear a headset, we just want to sit and watch a movie and, you know, have some fun, and it kind of feels more like that. GeForce Gamer, thank you for 22 months. Anyway, guys, I need to head out and get myself on a rig, so I'm going to do some iRacing later rather than Sunday Night Trucking. Thank you very much. Moorcroft, this is the development of the Quantum Dot. I'll have a read, thank you. Yeah, I'm back at 5. I'm going to do some Sunday night racing instead of trucking. So hopefully see you all in an hour if you're heading out. Have a great Sunday evening. Thank you for watching. Have fun. Going to grab some food, stretch my legs, and I'll see you at 5. Bye for now.